First of all, a welcome to our two new servers up here. Just what a wonderful thing. And a word of gratitude to Jocko, their faithful leader as well. Thank you, Jocko, for what all you do as well. Seriously, thank you. It seems so simple, doesn't it? Just give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is God's. With that little gem, Jesus shut down the Pharisees' effort of division and anger, right? Just nailed it. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Give to God what is God's. Hold that up in a mirror, though, and what we're really asking is this question: what is it that Caesar has given us that we must give back? And what is it that God has given us that we must give back to God? Another way to say it is what bears the imprint of civil authority in our world and what bears the imprint of God? And then it doesn't become such an easy, simple question. History and our scriptures have taught us that. We look at the Israelites. They had been exiled from their holy city of Jerusalem. For 50 years, the city lay in ruin. They were driven to a beyond country, but they were begging to God, asking God for a new Abraham, someone to bring them back, someone to restore them to their holy city of Jerusalem. And who does God send? Cyrus, the enemy king, was not even a Jew, not of their religion, not of their race, politically an enemy, and yet the hand of God was upon him. He was called by God and anointed by God to bring the people of Israel back home. Who would have thought? It made no sense, not in the political world, not in the religious world, but it certainly held the imprint of God. The early church discovered something very similar when they went to the city of Thessalonica, a Greek town, not a town of Jews, not a town of their own people, but a different race, a different culture, a different religion, and realized that the hand of God was upon them, that they too were called to follow this Christ, the gospel of Jesus Christ, to be part of the kingdom of God. But that's how the story goes, doesn't it? So often, that's what God does. God takes the outsider and welcomes them in. He takes the nobody and makes them a leader. He takes the sinner and creates the saint. God takes the ordinary and makes it sacred. It's what God does at this altar every time we gather here. He takes ordinary bread and wine and becomes the body and the blood of Christ. That's God. That's what God does. God places his imprint upon so much of what is ordinary in our lives. So when we ask what is God's, pretty much everything. Every person that has ever lived and who now lives upon the face of this earth bears the imprint of God. Every creature that swims or climbs or breathes or flies holds the imprint of God. Every wave that washes along the shore, every sun that rises in the east, every breeze that blows from the west carries the imprint of God. Every thought that comes from our minds, every song that is sung from our lips, every tear that we shed in love bears the imprint of God. Every relationship that is formed and every body that responds to that love bears the imprint of God. The artist's stroke of a brush, an architect's dream carries the imprint of God. Every true attempt at justice, every attempt that we have to lead towards peace or healing or reconciliation bears the imprint of God. So then what do we owe God? Pretty much everything. And the challenge of the scriptures today is to reveals to us of what we owe God, but then it also asks the question, what is it that we offer back to God? What will it look like? What is the state of humanity on this earth that we now offer back to God? What do our relationships in our life look like that we can offer back to God? What is the beauty of creation that we are able to offer back to God? Those are the challenging questions. So yes, if you find something that bears the imprint of Caesar, give it back to Caesar. God doesn't want it anyway. But if it holds the imprint of the hand of God, if God's hand is upon it, God's image, then it's not ours to keep or to give away randomly to someone else. It's only ours to give back to God.